If I did not have to keep a time clock, I would spend more time focused on food.
Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. On the TLC show My 600-Pound Life, patients come to test about their absolute limits, especially the ones who have been suffering a lot because of their overweight and obesity issues. They actually appear on the show just to struggle to change their lifestyles so they can save their lives. The most well-known and qualified bariatric surgeon, Dr. Now, helps participants to lose their weight so they don't have to feel physically bedridden and don't have to suffer mental pressure. By providing them a strict diet and exercise plans, he helps them to lose at least some required pounds to qualify for gastric bypass surgery. But in today's video, you will see 3 crazy moments from My 600-Pound Life Season 9. Just stick to your seats and grab your bowl of popcorn to enjoy them while watching this video. Here we go! Number 3. Carrie's transformation and her husband. As a viewer, I can say that we, all the fans, were already familiar just by the looks of Carrie that she's on the brink of eating herself to death. But not just that. The craziest thing about Carrie's story today is that she knew about her exact behaviors as she can easily pinpoint them. The real thing that was making everyone wonder about her was that she's understandably self-aware about her bad eating habits. She knows where she really needs help because Carrie knows her weight is increasing day by day and going out of control. Despite being well aware of all these things, her body has gotten to a breaking point. It was clear that she isn't in a mood to do anything for herself, as she can't seem to get her eating habits under control. But throughout her episode, she was seen griping a lot about all of her struggles and efforts that she was doing, according to her, just to get rid of her overeating habits. By the way, at the end of her episode, it was clear that her husband is the one feeding her a large amount of food for dinner. In fact, she was even seen crying on camera while trying to tell the show crew it had become quite hard for her to focus on her job, on her family, and of course her husband. Well, as she eats so much, her life has drastically therefore been affected by her binge eating. Despite all the complaints she makes about her weight and her oversized body, she still asks her husband to fill her plate by putting all that multi-thousand-calorie meal, including a pound or 2 of pasta, and the kicker, 4 garlic breadsticks on top.
Look like it came together pretty good.
Oh yeah.
I know he loves me more than anything in the world.
I mean, what was that? Isn't she bipolar or what? She wants change, but she doesn't want to quit overeating. All this is gonna make me sick. She is nothing but a psycho, crazy woman. I mean, just see how much she consumes food in a day, and she's aware of it all. But she still doesn't prioritize her health over all of that stuff.
If I did not have to keep a time clock, I would spend more time focused on food.
Well, I'm about to give you a spoiler alert if you haven't watched Carrie's episode yet, as this moment of hers is actually the #1 craziest moment of Season 9 that actually happened when the episode ends. The spoiler is all about Carrie's surprising transformation. Her transformation is just jaw-dropping. It can make you wonder and amazed that she finally did it. She controlled her eating habits, and as a viewer, I gotta say I'm proud of her as she finally accomplished her goal by struggling against all the odds. It made me so happy. I mean, who doesn't love a happy ending? Of course, everyone does, right? By the way, at the end of Carrie's episode, you'll witness her self-awareness as it came full circle. Finally, she made herself capable of successfully losing her unwanted weight, so she could be qualified to undergo bariatric surgery under the supervision of Dr. Now. Do you remember that earlier it was mentioned in her episode that she was seen griping over her relationship with her husband? When Carrie confessed that she's worried that her husband might get fed up with her and leave her for being obese, just like other certainly strained relationships. But she finally worked on herself and made things possible. What a healthy and optimistic approach she made. Her relationship with her husband is still going strong, despite the ups and downs of her weight loss journey. In fact, I've stalked Carrie on all her social media platforms just to know what she's up to, and on those pages, I've found that she's been able to keep the weight off that she lost over her incredible journey in order to keep her husband. Despite the craziness of being obese, she was able to turn her life around. As a viewer, I can only hope and wish that other diplomatic patients should learn from her example that they can also change their lifestyle by just having the courage to prove to themselves, to their loved ones, and to everyone who had doubts about them. Just make them wonder that you're capable of creating a true change in your life.
I don't think it'll be bad. Definitely will be healthier for all of us.
Number 2. Thederic's trip to Houston moment. You will see in this upcoming clip that when Thederic appeared on My 600 Pound Life, Season 9, he was at his breaking point because he wasn't able to walk properly. Even while doing his daily simple tasks, such as going to the restroom or cooking a meal for himself, he had to deal with a lot of trouble. So, he thought he should do something. Therefore, to seek help from Dr. Now, Thederic had to travel to Texas from Florida. When he decided to meet Dr. Now to start his journey, his mother had to help him in their minivan with all the seating down in the trunk. Because of his heavy body, he was not even able to use the bathroom during his whole trip. In fact, he was also not able to get out of the minivan without any assistance. Thederic and his mother both had to drive 700 miles for the trip to Houston, Texas. While on their way to Dr. Now's place, they saw so many stopping points, in which fast food restaurants were included. So, his mother kept stopping at fast food places to get their junk foods. I mean, was she really with him to support him? It doesn't seem like that to me. They knew that Dr. Now would not be happy that he was stopping at unhealthy fast food places, but according to them, both of them already knew that these were not the best choices, but they were hoping that while reaching at Dr. Now's office, those meals would help them out. But he definitely made some crazy, unhealthy choices on the trip down. Since the first clip, we have seen that Thederic's mom is the one who is very supportive of his weight loss journey.
That shit too little.
Me and my mom fixed it and take a trip to Houston since I decided.
She was seen encouraging him to walk a little bit every day, even if his walks included just going to the driveway or at the back to take out the trash. It is obvious that all of that was difficult for Thederic to do everything, even out of his capacity because of his overweight and pain. But despite all the challenges he had, he made everything possible as he was able to successfully make this small trip. After 2 months of the trip, he seemed as if he was getting better at his daily walks. Before returning to home, he missed an appointment with Dr. Now, and however, he also needed to have some tests run. He finally ended up having his appointment with Dr. Now via video call. During his video call appointment, Thederic admitted in front of Dr. Now that he had been eating fruits. You guys must be thinking what's wrong with fruits, right? As it's a healthy option. But Dr. Now wasn't happy after learning about the fruits, because fruit was not part of this scheduled diet. Therefore, Dr. Now told both Thederic and his mother that they need to make sure that he's ready and motivated to really work hard on his weight loss, and he needs to start giving up foods like fruit. Thederic became upset about this, but he was still willing to lose the weight. So what if he has to do whatever to achieve his goal?
Most of my days start pretty much the same now. I struggle to get up.
Number 1. Cindy's psycho moment. Cindy was totally bedbound and unable to walk when she featured on the show. In fact, she was so bedridden, it was never easy for her to go to the bathroom, as it used to make her feel quite exhausted. That's why she also has a caretaker who looks after her, but after so many efforts, her friend convinced her to meet Dr. Now. Initially for her, everything looked all well and quite set up to get medical transport so she could visit Dr. Now's office. But when medical transport arrived at her place and the actual time came to meet the doctor, Cindy started doing some crazy stuff that made both the medical staff team and her friend Sandy drive mad. In a second, she randomly and constantly changed her mind and started making scenarios in her head about whether or not she wanted to go. During all that drama, she made the medical team stand waiting.
My old provider, Sandy, who was my caretaker for years, has been trying to get me to Houston.
As she started pretending to take a shower and continued her indecisiveness for ages. Her best friend, Sandy, broke down into tears as she didn't want to lose her best friend. After that crying session of Sandy, Cindy finally agreed to go. Well, isn't that just a crazy moment? In fact, it was also painstakingly infuriating.
exercise you do, you're gonna burn some calories, okay? And you need to burn a lot of calories.
That's all for today, guys. Thanks for watching. And if you guys found it interesting, I would much appreciate it if you comment down below about the video and leave a thumbs up. Last but not least, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to get all the updates related to our latest videos.